Hey everybody, welcome back to Layman Loans. In this video, we are going to see whether it is advisable to purchase a phone on an EMI. First of all, is EMI good? Our actual answer, it is good only for essentials and definitely not good for things which are of luxury. What is luxury? What is an essential? Essentials are things which you cannot live without it. So assume you need to eat for 3 times a day, you need to sleep for 6 to 8 hours a day. These are essentials. You need to have a roof on your head, that's an essential. You need to commute for one place to another, it is essential. If there is a way you can do it at a relatively lower cost rather than paying an interest to somebody else, then that is all a necessary expense. So assume you have to live in a house. You cannot go for a house anything less than 2 bedroom because there are 4 people in your home and you need privacy. So you need 2 people in one room, another 2 people in one room. So you need a 2 BHK house. So you're in a particular location. For that place, the rent up there is about 20,000 rupees. So you cannot compromise on that and go for a house for 2,000 or 3,000. You cannot live in a hut. So for your standard of living, you have to definitely go for a 20,000 rupees house only. So that 20,000 rupees is a essential thing. So that is a need, and for your lifestyle, it is a basic necessity. So that is not a luxury. Instead of spending 20,000, assume you go for a house wherein you pay a rent of 2 lakhs per month and you live in a 8 BHK sea facing villa and you spend lavishly on everything, then that becomes a luxury. For few people, living on a 2 lakh per month house is actually a saving ground. So that is something which is economic for them. So assume there are people who are like movie stars or people who are much in media, or they are travelers and they need to keep on traveling to multiple locations and they are holding for a particular movie in a location. Instead of booking a hotel room for like 7,000 or 10,000 per day, they would like to get a house for 2 lakhs and 10 people can stay in that 8-bedroom house, something like that. Then that is more economical. So based on the scale of operations and based on whether it will cut cost or eat your cost, it is decided whether it is a necessity or a luxury. So now coming back to whether getting a phone on an EMI is required or not. First of all, a phone has now become a necessity for everybody. Everyone today needs a smartphone. Whether you are a taxi cab driver or whether you have multi-billion dollars worth of cash, irrespective of in which stature you are, definitely a phone is a requirement for everyone. But whether you need an iPhone or whether you need a Samsung foldable phone or a normal phone is purely subject to your need and affordability. If you cannot afford an iPhone, don't go for an iPhone. But if you can afford an EMI for an iPhone, still don't go for an iPhone. Unless and until you can actually pay the cost of the phone and buy it, don't really go for an EMI. EMIs always have hidden costs and interest rate along with it. What are the different types of EMIs available for a phone? First thing, even in online, you find something called as a credit card linked EMI, wherein you swipe your credit card, the entire credit limit of the card is being swiped, and every month from the credit card, they take a particular amount. So how this works, let me tell you. So assume you are trying to buy a phone which is of a price about 1.5 lakhs. You're trying to buy a Samsung foldable Z category phone, or you're trying to buy an iPhone 13 or something like that. Then assume you have your credit limit of about 2 lakhs. Then when you swipe the credit limit for the phone, then entire 1.5 lakhs of the credit card gets allocated and blocked for the phone. But every month, they will actually take only the respective amount. So assume you have to take, say you are taking a 9 months EMI, every month they'll possibly be taking about say 18,000 or so. If you're taking a 12 months EMI, they'll take 9 to 10,000. So there is an EMI calculator which will be mentioning clearly what will be the rate of interest and so on. But typically they'll charge you anywhere around 12 to 20% or even higher as the rate of interest, and there will be a processing fee component as well for this loan. So what happens is, this credit card EMI will keep on getting added every month on your minimum outstanding due and the total amount which you have swiped through your credit card, and you will end up paying 44% rate of interest for your credit card. So what happens is, you will be paying interest for your credit card and there will be hidden cost and interest for the EMI which you are taking through the credit card for the loan as well. So in turn, it will make you pay more than 50% interest for your loan. So what happens, the 1.5 lakhs phone, when you keep paying that back for a period of 18 months, you would have actually paid more than 2 lakh for the loan itself. So you are making the phone more expensive instead of making it cheaper. Assume you are planning to sell that phone after 6 months, you will be selling the phone for 50,000 or 20,000, 30,000. It will become almost 50% the price you purchased, or sometimes even 10% of the price what you purchased. But by the time you complete the EMI, you would have actually ended up paying about 50% of the cost of the phone as interest itself. It's definitely not recommended. Anything you purchase on an EMI should be something which is of essential need. If you cannot afford an iPhone, don't go for an iPhone. Always save money and buy it. You can, there's a process called delayed gratification. If you want something, don't buy it immediately. Try to wait for a month or even 2 months and see whether you can live without it. If you can live without it, don't go for it. If you feel it's an extreme need and you cannot be there without that at all, then try to save money for that, and after about a point of time, like even 6 months or 1 year, go for the phone. If you want the phone now, don't buy the phone right now. It's always, there's a saying, it's always better to rent instead of buying. It's better to borrow rather than renting. And if you can get it for free, then don't even borrow. So never go for a buying option unless and until there's an absurd need. If you don't have an absolute need for getting a phone, don't go for it. And if you want to get it, save money and get it. Buying it on an EMI, maybe if you can monetize it. Say for example, there are media people who use a phone for taking videos, and they have a monetized YouTube channel and multiple source of income, and the phone becomes an investment for their business, and they have paying customers who are going to pay the EMI. So typically, if they are getting a phone for 1.5 lakhs, possibly they'll be able to create a revenue stream of say 1 lakh per month. Then that becomes an investment. Then you can definitely go for it. So assume you have to pay an EMI of even 10,000 rupees, but still you make another 80 to 90,000 rupees out of the phone every month. Then you can very well go for an EMI. We don't have an issue. But it is just something to show in a very fancy way for your friends, then it is definitely not recommended by us to go for a phone through an EMI. I hope this video is useful to all of you, and looking forward to connect with you all in the next video.